sitting here, you're on strike. Come on.
Ongoing, form with some real continuity, and it's something that's a rare treat here. Leave it at that for now. I'll be back up in a couple of minutes, and we hope that this learning will really take us beyond the normal limitations of Tisha B'Av, of consciousness, and that we really begin to understand that this is an opportunity to break down the walls, as we've said before. And Shlomo will be talking about it. I'll talk about it some more tomorrow night. It will be a theme woven in and out of the classes. So those of you who can come to more, I hope you'll be able to, but certainly you'll get a full blast of it through the learning with Shlomo. I just hope he doesn't tell the stories I'm planning to tell tomorrow night. Okay.
Mamas, thank you.
Right,
did you bring the instrument? Yeah. Great. Yeah? Oh, good. Oh, you have it here. Give it to me. What's the what? Tell me again what?
We're just going to take away the tables.
More clothes. Perhaps we could take away that one table, since you thought of it. Good. So the heaven can come closer, yeah. Good. Yeah, it's a good idea. If you thought of it, that's what it is. Remember the Gemara says, Krayane de Igrase. If you think about it, the holy Abderhof, the Heilig Abder, when you saw that people are machmir when it comes to fasting, a lot of people, even when they're they feel bad, they're sick. Can you fix it, brother? And the whole, a little bit louder, tiny bit. Tiny bit. Okay, just a little bit. Hello. Brother. What happened? Hello. What? Hello? No. You're on strike also? Everybody's on strike tonight.
He's on duty.
Oh no, there's... Okay, brother. Hello, okay. Make it a little soft. Okay, hold it over. Okay, let's start from there. The Holy Abder, when you saw people are really machmir, making it so strong when it comes to fasting, then the Holy Abder was very angry. He would say, okay, you have to fast, you fast, if you don't feel good, eat. I mean, you got to be a rabbi to say such words, He says, I want you to know, he says, when the holy rabbis initiated the fast days, they really believed Mashiach is coming tomorrow. And they never thought it would take 2,000 years till he's coming. Because the truth is, he says, our generation, and he said it 200 years ago, we are not strong enough to fast. We are not strong enough to fast. Brother, come and take a chair, sit up here, brother. I want to share with you something awesome. After the destruction of the temple, and we were certain they're coming back after 70 years. Remember, Bar Kokhba made an uprising after 70 years. It was clear to them they're coming back after 70 years. How long can you stay away from the Beis HaMikdash? And the first thing we did, we're not playing instruments anymore when we daven. Sadly enough. The holy rabbis would have known it will take 70 years. 2,000 years. Okay, Shabbos, you're not permitted. Imagine if each time we daven Mincha Ma'ariv, be fire, right? Who's coming to shul today to daven Mincha Ma'ariv? Most of the people have to say Kaddish. And how do they say Kaddish, right? It's not even good poetry reading. Imagine if every day Mincha Ma'ariv would be fire, right? There's 2,000 instruments, right? You know, in the Beis HaMikdash, I don't know if some of you know this, maybe you do, I'm sure. The Levium, there were 50,000 instruments and 100,000 voices. And the Heilige Abte said, you know, the Holy Abte was one of those people who, I mean, I'm sure the all Rebbes did, but he was talking openly. He said to remember everything he did last time. But he says he remembers that one time, B'shoigeg, not wanting, he was Machal Shabbos, something happened. He had to bring a korban. Remember the story? So he says, I was walking up, and the long story, he says, Mamish, when I came up and heard the Levium singing, nobody had to tell me to do tshuva. There's no need for that. You know, when you heard the Levium singing, you know, your soul was washed clean, like before you were born. Unbelievable. I shared it with some of you, but are you ready for the notion? I just want to share with them, you know, I heard from an old Yid, and they want to chew over all Torahs. I think I told Mel that there are two little melodies which we still remember from the Holy Temple. And can you give me F minor, yeah? Oh, you're not set up? I'm sorry. Yeah, why not? Takes another 10 years now. How long did it take?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, let's begin with Rosh Chodesh. Hey, Franz, I want you to say hello to my top rebel and Rabbi Fund. He and his wife came specially from Austria to be with us for the learning. Yeah. Franz, you have to take a chair and sit here. Elizabeth is coming?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. הוא לא ידי בדיוק עם הסבא או הסבתא היהודיה, ואני לא לוחץ עליו. הוא ואשתו ואחותו בכלל, ממש. יכולים לכל דבר שבקדושה ממש. Okay, friends, we were learning it 1,000 times that the 12 months are divided by the 12 tribes. And every month belongs to another tribe. And also everybody knows the stars. You know that Avraham Avinu was, before he reached the level of Avraham Avinu, he was mamish into astrology, into astronomy. And that's why he gave up first of even praying for children, because he saw the stars that he can't have children. So then Moshe says, you know, God took him out, God mamish opened the gates for him, and he saw there was something much higher than that. But the stars are strong stuff. Not so simple. It's not the ultimate, but it's something the Jew has to know about. And also every month you have to fix something. Every month you have to fix some part. Okay, first I'll lay it out fast. This month belongs to Shimon. And the fixing of this month is hearing. Hearing to hear. Last month's Tammuz belonged to Reuben, and I'm sure you all know that Reuben was seeing, Shimon is hearing, and the fixing is the left kidney. Left kidney. Basically, the right kidney is, and you know it says, who made it loudest? It was good before, why did you change it? You know what Rabbi Melech says? If you want to make it too good, you always make it bad. Too good is no good. Now it's already bad. Make it a little bit louder. Oh, your Heilige Nosen, please, just leave it the way it was. Hello. Again, same thing.
I think that's what Rav Nachman said, but nothing, just leave it the way it was.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Heilige Rebbe, just leave it the way it is. Yontif. Hello. Okay. Notice the moment you have the thing ready. Okay. Every month also has a special letter. And the letter of this month is Tes. And everybody knows, I'm sure all of you remember, that wherever a certain letter appears in the Torah for the first time, that's the headquarters. And the first time the Torah mentions the letter Tes is Vayara Lakim Esa'oyer Ki Tov. Tes. God saw the light is good. And Rashi says, what's the light all about? What's so good about the light? Kitav lignus, it's good enough to be hidden. What? Yeah. That's a deacon, yeah. Yeah, gewalt. She grabbed a flatfish, God. I want you to know something very deep. The astronomer says, what is hiding, what is covering up the most? Not darkness. The greatest cover in the world is light. The greatest cover up. Because when you see a little bit light, then you think that's all there is to it, right? Oh, there's so much more. So much deeper. So much deeper. You know what the problem with most of us is? We reach a certain level in Yiddishkeit or in Torah knowledge, and we're stuck. We have a little light. Ah, gewaltig. You Torah lignus, the real light is hidden behind. Have you ever been in, you just Miss Switzerland walked in, have you ever been in Switzerland? You come there, you see the Alps. So you think that's the highest Alps, right? You're mistaken, these are just little hills. When you come to the top of the Alps, then you say, I can fall behind this. They're the real Alps, right? Then you get up on the highest Alp and you think, wait, how far can you go? Then you realize this is still hills. The real thing begins hidden away, right? Hidden away. So just remember, the sign of the stars is lion. How do you say it in English? In good Goyishkeit? How do you say it?
Leo.
What?
Leo.
Forget it, lion. Ani. Because I hate to mix. You know, gefilte fish is good for Friday night, but when it comes to certain things, don't mix them up, you know. The letter is Tes. The tribe is Shimon. And the fixing is hearing. And the left kidney. And you know, in Chassidus it's very, very deep. A lot of times, you know what you have to do, but you absolutely don't know how to do it. Most of us know what to do, but how do you really do it, right? And the Gemara says, Kloyos Yortzos, this is what the kidneys are doing. The kidneys are the ones who give you the idea, like, I hate to use the word guts, but this is what it really is. Kidneys, when they're really working good, they give you the idea what really to do, right? So the right kidney basically is to tell you what to do, and the left kidney is what not to do. And you see in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, that at the destruction of the temple, the left kidney wasn't working. We had no idea what not to do. Let's take between friends. Let's take husband and wife, right? I can love my wife very much, but there are certain things she doesn't like. If I keep on doing it, I can destroy everything. I say, I didn't do anything bad. Yeah, but certain things I can't stand. Why do you do them? My left kidney isn't working, right? I think I shared with you, I once saw on television, unbelievable show. They took 12 couples who were married for 10 years, and husband and wife didn't see each other. They were in separate rooms, but the audience could see both of them. And they asked the husband, what's the favorite color of your wife, right? You're married for 10 years. What's your wife's favorite food? Right? First they asked him, like on the right kidney level, right? What does she like, right? And only 2 husbands out of 12. No. Then they asked them, what is this? Tell me one thing your wife can't stand. None of them knew. They said something which was, then the first thing they say, let's assume he would say, my wife can't stand gefilte fish. So then this MC is asking his wife, is it true you can't stand gefilte fish? He says, no, I love it. Like, off. Same thing about the women, about the husbands. There's so many things in Yiddishkeit and Menschkeit. If your left kidney doesn't work, it's a bad sin, right? I don't know if this connects, but in my heart it does connect. He wants to ask the Chassidish Yid, or what is called Chilul Shabbos by you? What do you call desecrating the Shabbos? So obviously, he's not going to jump in the car. He's not going to do, I don't know what. You know what he said? If on Shabbos, by mistake, I put on my wochendicke Talis, it's Chilul Shabbos. Awesome. Or he says, on Shabbos in the Sidurim, Hoydel Hashem Kitayv has a special section for Shabbos. It says, if on Shabbos I say Psuk de Zimra from the wochendicke side, it feels like Chilul Shabbos. I heard another Torah. One of Chassidish Yid says, if I forget to bench my children Friday night, this is Chilul Shabbos. Gewalt is at Chilul Shabbos. Okay, you have it ready, Nosson? Okay, so let's first sing a little. Give me F minor. All of you know the Ning anyway, it's from Rosh Hashanah. There you go, help me, yeah? Make it E minor. I don't hear harmony from everyone who are the holding back. I die. I shared it with some of you. Yeah, I'm singing this thing all the time. I wish I could sing it 48 hours every day. Remember I told you I was in Russia, and then basically I took a really big chance. I left the Rosh Hashanah in the morning. I made it back to New York. But the night before Rosh Hashanah, the last night of the year, maybe it wasn't there either, you were left already. Yeah. All the top chevra were there. I mean, we're not there that night. We needed you the most. You remember all the young people there, you know? So I told them, I don't know if you'll be Rosh Hashanah in Shul. And between you and me, never. What are they going to do in Shul? We'll have a chazan knocking off the davening. Anyway, so I said, I want you to know right now, we can do Rosh Hashanah right now. I'm telling you something like, if you remember all those faces, those beautiful kids, you know. You know, I remember after I finished singing, I don't know how long I couldn't sing, you know. It was awesome. You know, I was just thinking to myself, David HaMelech basically made up all the nigunim after midnight. You know? Chatzos leider okum lahoideslach. And basically, everybody knows David HaMelech was not sitting down by the piano composing melodies, right? Mamish David HaMelech heard the melodies in heaven. I mean, can you imagine this one midnight before Rosh Hashanah when David HaMelech heard the melody in heaven coming down to this world? But you know what I think? I heard someone said that David HaMelech, you know, all the prophets, all the big Rebbes, when they were making something up, when they were writing a book, a Sefer, they knew prophetically everybody who will learn that Sefer. See, they didn't just write a book and then give it to Harper and Brothers and make a deal, you know. How much royalty do I get, right? I mean, I always think, imagine David HaMelech made up this thing, and now she saw you and me sitting here and singing the melody. Eventually do it, we have a guitar here, so if you come and sit next to me, you play guitar. Good. Okay, let me just... Can someone hold it? Just keep your hearts open. I have to mix in something else. Oh, let's take that. Okay, maybe we'll learn it tomorrow again and do more learning, but tonight I'm just going to share with you this. What?
Do you want me to get downstairs?
No. They'll turn pages, it's not important. You know, tonight is Rosh Chodesh. What's Rosh Chodesh all about? And everybody knows Avraham, Pesach is a holiday of Avraham. Shavuos is a holiday of Yitzchak. Sukkot is a holiday of Yaakov. Rosh Chodesh, the new month, is the holiday of David HaMelech. David Melech Yitzchak Chadekayim. What's David HaMelech all about? What's Mashiach all about? Basically, everybody knows the moon came before God and said to God, what's going on here? Me and the sun have the same amount of light. The outside world says the moon was like taken back. So God says, okay, I'll punish you and you'll be made smaller. And the question is even deeper. Every Rosh Chodesh, every new month we are bringing a sin offering in the Beis HaMikdash Achatas. And if the Gemara wouldn't say it, would be blasphemy. The Gemara says that the Master of the world says, Hevi'u olai kapora al shemiyat tireh. We are bringing a sin offering for God, because God says, I have to repent that I made the moon smaller. What's going on there? And everybody knows, we can only do what God is doing. If there wouldn't be such a thing as God doing tshuva, we wouldn't be able to do it either, right? What do we know? On a very simple level, why do I eat with a fork? Because my mother showed me, right? We learn it. Everything we know or we do, we learn somewhere. On Rosh Chodesh, God is teaching us, the Master of the world is teaching us. And this is what it is. You know what tshuva is? Tshuva is, sadly enough, the world thinks repent means I did something terrible. Well, this obviously, if you do something wrong, you better regret it. Try your best. Basically, tshuva is, I could do so much better. Not I could do, I want to do so much better. You know what the moon said to God? This is all there is to light, the sun. Isn't the deeper light available? So God says, you're my main man. The woman actually is female, you're my main woman. You'll be the one. You know what the moon is? The moment the moon is full, the moon is disgusted with itself. I need better light. I need so much more. And we all know that every month, it's not the same light from last time. You know what it is? Do you know what tshuva is? Master of the world want to do so much better. What do you say, David? Amen, Shimon. For Meryl?
Is it a phone call from me? Okay.
It's David HaMelech HaMashiach or God. One of the two. L'chaim. Okay, friends, can we just concentrate? You know what the world is all about? The world says, let's learn for 10 years, and then we'll get to the point. And maybe not. Mostly not. You know what the David HaMelech is all about? I want to get to the point first. Get me the point first. You know, sadly enough, I hope we're not making the same mistake, but I'm sure most of us do. Imagine someone comes and says, yeah, what's their problem? They're okay? Yeah? You need your own chair, are you okay? You hear, friends? Someone asks you, what's the essence of Yiddishkeit? So you say, learn 10 years, and then go to yeshiva 15 years, and then after 75 years, call me up again, collect, and I'll tell you. You know what the moon is all about? It begins with the nekuda, Chodesh. One ray, the point. The beginning is the point. Because, friends, sometimes you can live for 1,000 years. You can have all the light of the world, and I still don't know what God wants of me. What's the point? I will ask somebody, okay, you keep Shabbos for 2,000 years. What's the point? You remember the famous Torah from the Kotzker Rebbe? A great Kabbalist came to him, start talking about the deepest Kabbalistic concept. Kotzker Rebbe looks at him and says, yeah, but where are your kishkes? You know what he meant. You never get the point, right? So you have good things in your head, right? So what? But you're the same nothing as before. You see, the moment you get to the point, I get the point, you change, right? Something happens to you inside. But you don't get the point. And also something very deep. When you get to the point, then you start growing. Why is the moon growing all the time? I got the point, now I can grow. If you don't have the point, you just... Have you ever heard those long speeches for 5 years? Then you don't know what they want. They definitely don't know what they want. I always say that American rabbis are the greatest artists. You know why? Can you imagine you have nothing to say and you talk for so long? It's like about, right? If you have something to say and you say it, you're not an artist. You're just saying what you have to say, right? Nothing, right? The sun, the moon, the point. And you know something? The point is only when it's dark. When do you get to the point? When do you suddenly realize, Gewalt, I don't want to live like this anymore? You know, I tell you, where are you? Sherry, where are you hiding? I nearly called up your mother to find out where you are. Don't run away, I'm going to talk to you. This is my lawyer. When Mashiach is coming, he'll take me to court. I'll say, Sherry, present me. Don't forget it, okay. Okay, friends, you here? Oh, this is the deepest depth. What is the deepest relationship between us and God? It's so beautiful. The deepest relationship between us and God is not that we are listening to God. How could we not, right? The deepest relationship is that God is listening to us. Master of the world is listening to us. Not to be believed. You know who opened the gates that God is listening? The moon. The first one who spoke up and told God, you know, can you do something for me? The moon. What's the Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach? And just remember the two most important mountains for us is Har Sinai and Yerushalayim. Mount Sinai is a mountain when we listen to God. Yerushalayim is when God listens to us. Ki beisi be'tfilo yikol chol ha'amim. You know, this is so deep. I bless everyone with children. But those who have a wedding should have nachas on them. What's the deepest relationship between parents? Some parents walk around thinking, you know, my children are very well educated. They do everything I tell them. How does it sound to you? I wouldn't like to be their child. The deepest relationship between parents and children is that we listen to our children. This is so much deeper. So much deeper. And everybody knows David HaMelech is the master of Tefillah. David HaMelech, Gewalt, heading this is David HaMelech, the master of the Beis HaMikdash. So you see what it is? Us listening to God was never destroyed. Har Sinai is very holy, it was holy for the moment, and that's it. You know what was destroyed the Beis Hamikdash? You know what it is? Humanly speaking, I'm talking to God and He listens sometimes. Not that close anymore. What geht oben da? Imagine I love this girl very much. And I meet her on 42nd Street and 8th Avenue, the most exclusive place in New York, right? And I say, by the way, I love you. Would you like to marry me? She thinks, what a place to ask, you know? This is exile. Yeah, I'm talking to God on 42nd Street. I'll tell you something else. I love this guy very much. I tell you, you know something? Somewhere in the world is my favorite place. Oh, it's so special. Very, 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 very special. And I take her there. Then I say, oh, you know, I love you so much. Want to marry you? Oh, that's something else. In the time of the Beis Hamikdash, whenever we ask of God something, in the Beis Hamikdash, the most beautiful place in the world. Right now we are in exile. Obviously God is everywhere. It's not the same closeness. Anyway, I just want to make a stop for 1 second. We want to sing the Nis Kolossi, Kobe David HaMelech. Brother, want to give me D minor? D minor, yeah? Again, make it fast. There was seeing and there was hearing. Basically, seeing impresses me more, right? Imagine you tell me there was a lion in the world. Never seen one. I know it's awesome, right? I hear about it. I see one. Gewalt, right? But still, so the Ishbitzer says, what seeing is only the outside. Hearing is the inside. Inside. So you know what the Ishbitzer says. Chodesh Tammuz is the fixing of the seeing. Chodesh Av is the fixing of the hearing. Okay, now you really have to open your heart and make it fast, but just what he failed Chodesh Tammuz is the spies went to Israel and their eyes weren't fixed. They didn't see how beautiful the land is. So Chodesh Tammuz, they are fixing that the spies didn't have good eyes. Tisha B'Av, what we did wrong, we listened to them. So Chodesh Av is the fixing of hearing. But it's still outside stuff. The inside is Chodesh Tammuz, you see the wall is broken. What do you see? I keep my eyes open and I see the wall is broken. And I say to myself, God knows what He's doing. Hopefully it's for the best. Chodesh Av. Let me ask you the deepest depths, friends. When you see the holy temple burning, can you keep your eyes open? Can you look? Imagine God forbid this never happen again. Could we open our eyes and see how they push people in the gas chambers? Could you look? Can't look, right? Can you hear? So basically the month of Av is so terrible. They can't keep your eyes open. But then listen to the other side. You know, imagine somebody would come in, Mayor would have a phone call, but imagine Mayor would come back and say, Gewalt, I had a phone call, Brother Rothschild gives me $2 million to open a new yeshiva, right? I'll ask Mayor, at that second when they told you you get $2 million, did you keep your eyes open, did you close them? When you hear something so beautiful, you also close your eyes. Because anything which is beyond your vessels, you can't keep your eyes open. And you know what Rav Nachman says is the deepest of Rav Nachman? When do you cry? If the pain is, I can take it, I don't cry. When I don't have big enough vessels to take the pain, then I cry. You know little children, their vessels are not so strong yet, right? So every little thing makes them cry. Why is it that some people hear that they killed 6 million, say, yeah, I'm so sorry, and take another bite in the bagel? They also feel the pain, but the pain they have is within their limits, right? Take another person, tell them, oh, you take a vow, they kill 6 million. Beyond you, right? Beyond you. I want you to know Tisha B'Av is both. You can't keep your eyes open either way. When you see the destruction of the temple, you see everything what happened to us in those 2,000 years, you have to close your eyes and you're crying. Eini Yodamoim. You can't stop crying. But also, You know, it says, Manovu alehorim ragle mevase. I've never seen the Messiah yet, but you can hear the footsteps. Kval can hear the footsteps. And I want you to know something awesome. We've done it a lot of times. I'm sure everybody knows it from their own life. When someone comes whom you don't like, you don't hear the footsteps, you don't feel them coming. When someone comes whom you love very much, you can hear the footsteps thousands of miles away. So on Tisha B'Av, how much we close our eyes? On one hand, we see the destruction of the temple. On the other hand, Mamish, Manova Lahorem Raglem Avas, Mamish, we hear Mashiach's coming. So the Ishbita says, this is what the letter is Tes. Tu v'gonis b'gaveh. And you know what the Gemara says? When you see somebody destroying a house, you better find out who's doing it. If it's a stranger, he wants to destroy the house. If it's the master of the house, then obviously he wants to build a better house. Do you know who destroyed the temple? And the Rabbi Shlomo is something so holy. Do you think it's really possible for the world to destroy God's house? They can't. Obviously God was doing it. And here I want to tell you something awesome. Just a story to remember for everything in the world. When are you closest to a person? When you see them? And when you can't even see them? Imagine I love somebody very, very, very much, and suddenly we're on the forest, it's so dark. We can't even see each other. Do you know how close we are? Go out and be close. It's the deepest closeness. You know, as long as we could see God a little bit, we're not that close to God. On Tisha B'Av, it's so dark. I can't see, Mamash, I can't see where God is. Go out and be close. I want you to know the deepest depths that this Beis HaMikdash was destroyed because we hated each other. You know, I look at you and I hate you. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like the way you look. But you know something? If I'm that close to you that I can't see you. Oh, Gewalt is that close. So I want you to know what Chodesh is. You just see a ray, one little ray of light. It's seeing and hearing. It's in between. And you know what it is? The Bezin says, Mekudesh HaChodesh Mekudesh. You know, Rab Nachman says that every person has a Nekudah Taiva. Everybody has something very holy inside. You know, friends, there is the point of what's life all about, what's the Torah all about. Then every human being has a purpose in this world. And the deepest question is, do you get the point? Do you get the point where God needs this person? What do we know, right? I'll tell you something, you know, which is, I don't want to go into it now, but there's a story from the Hediga Baal Shem Tov that one of the greatest awesome, could have been the biggest tzaddik in the world, rolled down all the way. All the way. He converted, left Yiddishkeit, and after that he came back, but he realized because he had to meet somebody there. Had to meet somebody there. This is Chodesh Av. I don't see it, but inside. And again, the sign of the star is the lion. You know what the lion is all about? A lion. All the Mephoshim say, why is a lion the king of the animals? He's not the strongest animal. The animals are much stronger. Because the lion is mamish not afraid of anybody. The lion is absolutely not afraid. You know what the holiness of us Eden is? The most important thing is al tira al diyah. Don't be afraid. You know what an assimilated Jew is? Someone who is afraid to be a Jew. What are you afraid of? You know, thank God it's getting stronger, the world. Oh, Shem, there are thousands of yarmulkes on the streets now. No, you know, there was a time when Jews were afraid to walk as with a yarmulke. Well, what are you afraid of? Why is a priest not afraid to walk with a cross? Why are you afraid to walk with a yarmulke? What are you afraid of? You know what on Tisha B'Av is? On Tisha B'Av, I walk away from Tisha B'Av, I hear the coming of Mashiach. And one thing is clear to me. I'm not afraid of the world anymore. Oh, this is what I want to tell you is Le'enei Kol Yisrael. The Torah from Shischa. You know, the last words of the Torah is, God says to Moshe Rabbeinu, thank you for breaking the tablets, Le'enei Kol Yisrael, in front of the eyes of all of Israel. Sounds good, right? Got to be deeper than that, especially on the moon level. If you learn with the sun says, yeah, that's what it means. He asked the moon, what does it mean? The moon says, can you tell me something deeper than that? So here's the Pshishcha Torah. All the brokenness in the world, it just looks this way. Le'enei Kol Yisrael. The truth is, the tablets were never broken. The truth is the Holy Temple was never broken. The Holy Temple was never broken. You know, it says in the Zohar Kodesh that for Rabbi Shimon Yochai, the Holy Temple was not destroyed. You could see Mamash, there's the Mikdash. Let me ask you, friends, when you stand by the holy wall and you put your face on the holy stones, you keep your eyes open or you close them? You close them, right? Because you hear Mashiach's coming. You can hear Gewalt. The Rabbi Shem is rebuilding the Beis HaMikdash. But you know what's even deeper? When you stand by the Beis HaMikdash, when you stand by the holy wall, how many prayers can you hear? You can absolutely hear the prayers of all the Yidden from Avram to Mashiach's coming. Not to be believed. And here's just one other very important thing. I can eat matzah without being really connected to every Jew in the world. Tisha B'Av, I'm not connected to every Jew from Abraham all the way to Mashiach. I don't get the message. I don't get it. And I don't see them, but I can hear their prayers. And here just one more thing. You know, Torah Shebiksav is seeing. Torah Shebapeh, the oral law is hearing. Like it's all moon Torah, right? That's what Torah Shebapeh is at night. I'm learning Gemara, and I look at the Gemara, right? And everybody knows, Sofer Shabbat says, the Gemara is still Torah Shebapeh, right? It never became Torah Shebiksav. I see the words, so much deeper, right? Imagine, I don't want to say anything bad. I saw somebody, there's a dictionary, he learns Gemara. I'm not knocking, it's sweet. But he doesn't get a taste of Torah Shebapeh, he gets a taste of Torah Shebiksav. It's written. So you're learning. I want you to know something awesomely deep. You know, when I get a business letter, it's Torah Shebiksav. I see the words. Someone tells me, send me 10 cassettes. My name is Moshe, I live in Tucson, that's it, right? Then I get a love letter. Is it the words? It's both, right? Listen to the steps. But imagine someone loves me very much and writes me a love letter. I close my eyes and I can see the person writing the letter. And there's Torah Shebapeh. I can hear from every word, I can hear things which I never heard before. You know, friends, why we're not learning on Tisha B'Av? You mean learning from a book? Tisha B'Av is not Torah Shebiksav. You know what I hear on Tisha B'Av? All the things which were never written down. You know, this is even the prophets couldn't say it. Nobody could say it. I know also the kings of the South Ariana. I want you to know something very deep. When you meet someone you love very much, and you kiss them, you close your eyes. And you know you say, I'm so glad to see you, right? So what do you close your eyes? But you know what you mean to say. Oh, it's so much deeper than seeing. It's the deepest inside seeing, the deepest inside hearing. You know, on Mount Sinai it says we saw what we heard and we heard what we saw. There's something so deep inside of us where suddenly seeing and hearing is the same. It reaches the deepest, deepest depths. Everything is just one more thing. You know, when you see your children while they are crying, it reaches you very deep, right? Sometimes I have to travel. I remember Neshama when she was 2 years old, and I was calling from Eretz Yisrael, and Neshama was in America. And she went to the phone, she was crying so much. You know, I was sick for 2 weeks because I didn't see her. I could just hear her. To hurt my heart. You know, when you are there where the person is crying, you can bear it. When you're not there, you can't bear it. You know, on Tisha B'Av, when you hear the crying of all the Eden, oh God, you can't bear it. So the fixing is the left kidney. The left kidney is You know, sometimes I'm angry at you because you did something wrong. So my left kidney says to me, if it's functioning, really, now is not the time to be angry. Now is not the time to be angry. You know why we lose our children? Because we always tell them what to do at the wrong time. Now is not the time. You know, on Tisha B'Av, why don't we learn Torah? Because God says, right now you're so much in pain. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just love you the way you are. Anyway, I just want to sing Eine Yodemoim. Then you know Ramel say some holy words. Give me C minor. Can you make E minor? B. Imagine I need help. The stranger can help me also. I'm crying, Gewalt, Gewalt. The stranger comes and helps me. My father's the one who cries with me. You know, all year long it's enough someone comes and helps us. On Tisha B'Av, I don't want someone to come to help me. I need someone to cry with me. And you know what's so special? On Tisha B'Av, suddenly it's clear to me. My house is destroyed. God's house is destroyed. God's world is destroyed. My world is destroyed. And it also clear to me, it takes so little to fix it. You know, how much would it take to fix the world? Very little. You know, Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach says, Mashiach is coming on Tisha B'Av, and on Chamisha Oseh B'Av, 5 days later, they're building the Beis HaMikdash. It doesn't take that long. It takes so little. So you know what happens to us on Tisha B'Av? We walk away from Tisha B'Av and say, Rabbi Shlomo, obviously you destroyed the Beis HaMikdash to make a better one. If I see my world is destroyed, the whole world, you want a better one? I better get behind it fast. better get behind it fast. I just want to tell you, I always tell my friends, everybody knows that the Kabbalah, the biggest Kiddush Levana is Tisha B'Av night. For millions of reasons, but one of the reasons is, after I look at the moon, I say to each other, Shalom Aleichem. Never seen you before. Because if you look to me like you're not so good, because my eyes weren't fixed, my left kidneys weren't fixed, I'm completely destroyed. Mamash. Shalom Aleichem. So glad to see you. So glad to see you. You know what we need? We need the biggest Shalom Aleichem to each other. We need the biggest Shalom Aleichem one to the other. And just remember, if you now in Tisha B'Av it's so dark, but everybody knows, when you stand for somebody who you love very much, you're so glad it's dark. And one more thing, why am I so close to somebody who I love when it's dark? Because you know something? Sometimes I love another person so much, I don't even want them to know how much I love them because I'm ashamed to show them how much I love them. Maybe it's too much. So when it's dark, I'm going full blast. Torah Shiva Pes at night, I'm even ashamed to tell God how much I love the Torah. It's dark. Tisha B'Av, it is so dark. And Gewalt is Tuvet Gones Begaveh. So much light inside. And I'm sure you do know in Israel, sometimes the bookstores like religious and unreligious fight with each other. They only fight when it's a little bit light. Should never happen again. God forbid in time of war. You know how much they love each other? Awesome. Awesome. Because when it's dark, you're not ashamed to tell each other how much you love you. Well, God forbid when it's dark, and I want to bless you and me. We should take all the darkness from the 2,000 years of exile. We should take it with us. Tisha B'Av is a time you need a big pocketbook to put it in, suitcases. Because obviously we didn't go into exile just to get out of it. God doesn't send us to Chutz La'aretz, now we are back. So Mazel Tov. Where's the purpose of leaving? And I'm sure it's clear to us that we have so much trouble in Israel. It's not them. Nothing to do with them, right? On the outside, right? Inside, it's us. I want to bless you and me. We should fix it. All of us. Okay, Halik Me'al, let's hear.
So first I just want to say how happy I am to be here.
Halik Me'al, we are even more happy that you're here.
That I had the pleasure of being able to sit by Rabbi Shlomo and hear and learn. And I have a feeling, Shlomo, that the 3 weeks, everyone is touched by the 3 weeks, but you the most. Because for 3 weeks, and certainly for 9 days, you can't sing.
Ah, you out.
Right? So you are number one, you are affected. So it seems to me there's a reason for it. Whenever the Rabbi Shlomo is making me hold back, it's because something even better is supposed to come down. The Rabbi Shlomo should prepare you in these 9 days you should compose a nidin that's going to be so beautiful that every Jew is going to want to do tshuva. And the whole world should want to do tshuva. And we should all be zocher to dance to that nidin in the third Beis HaMikdash.
Thank you so much, man.
Now, my friends, we all know that the 9 days in Tisha B'Av is a very, very complicated subject. On the one hand, there's nothing to talk about. On the other hand, there's everything to talk about. For example, I don't know how many of you know it. Do you know that tomorrow night, Binyanei Ha'umah, which is like Madison Square Garden here in Yerushalayim, is sold out. You know for what? Thousands of women are coming, mostly from Yerushalayim, from all over Israel. The evening is dedicated to one subject: guarding the mouth. It's very beautiful to eat kosher food, but how about what's coming out of my mouth? Is it kosher? This is a campaign the last few years in Israel. It's not only on a citywide basis, in every neighborhood, every day this week. There's hundreds of sessions with small groups, big rabbis, people, and it's all for women actually, are learning and being rededicated and re-inspired to the power of words and the lethal character of words. Part of it is because the 9 days, we all know the Gemara in Gittin tells us the story that the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed on account of senseless hatred. And I'm sure almost everyone here knows the basic story, so I'm skipping over the first part. I just want to touch on one feature as the story there continues. You know, firstly, I saw in the Jerusalem Post, they did a little statistical analysis, a survey. In various Western countries, 8 to 10% of the population doesn't believe anymore that there was a Holocaust. This is now. And there's a suspicion, as time will progress, the numbers of people in these countries that are going to deny the Holocaust is going to grow. They bring forth all kinds of experts who prove there couldn't have been a Holocaust. It sounds abnormal, but it's happening. And when I read that, it made me understand a little bit more strongly what's also included when the Torah says to us, Zacha es ha'asher asa l'cha Amalek. I was always bothered. Why does the Torah need to tell me I should remember what Amalek did to me? I'm asking you, if Amalek did it, how could I forget? The answer is, somehow part of what Amalek is all about is Amalek does it and then denies that it happened. And Amalek is such an expert at denying that it happened that if the Torah didn't give you a special injection, remember what Amalek did to you, you'd also forget. Let me ask you a question. What do you think, what went into the thinking of the Roman general who burned the Holy Temple? Why did he do it? Now, on the level of history, I don't know what the scholars say, but as we all know, the Gemara there in Gittin talks about it, the spiritual reasons why it happened. And there's some really amazing things there. A few pages in the Gemara, and especially there's a lot of very deep commentary from the Maharal, the Netzach Yisrael. One small portion of it, one small segment. The Gemara says that there was a Jew among us who went to the Romans, and he said, the Jews are rebelling against you. Mordebach Yehudai. And if I was the Roman emperor, so I would have said, well, you know, I'll send a little cable to my embassy in Jerusalem, we'll find out if it's true or not. The Gemara says the conversation went a little bit differently. When this person said this to the Roman general, So he says, the Roman emperor, he says back, well, prove it to me. So the Gemara says, he said to him, well, why don't you send a sacrifice? Send an animal as a sacrifice to the Beis HaMikdash. And let's see, are they going to accept it or not? How will they treat your sacrifice? Will they treat it with dignity? Or will they embarrass you? So he sent a sacrifice. And unknown to everyone, this person, this Jew, he made a blemish. But he didn't make the blemish where it would be visible. There's two opinions in the Gemara. One opinion is he made a little mark over the eyelash, the eyelid. The other opinion is he made a little mark on the lip. Which from the standpoint of the Romans, this is nothing. It's not a blemish. And then there's a whole discussion. So it's too late to go into the blow by blow, but just like Shlomo says in a nutshell. The Maharal says, basically, why did the Romans burn down the temple? So it has to do with, you know why the Romans hated us? You know why Amalek hates us? So one type of hatred has to do, they hate us because they hate us. But there's another kind of hatred. The other kind of hatred is they hate us because they expect us to do something so great and so wonderful that if we don't do it, they resent us for it. This is on a subconscious level. I hesitate to say that this could be going on a conscious level. But somehow the world, my friends, has an expectation from the Jewish people. And when we don't live up to that expectation, then there's another side to it. There's another angle. The chosen people. It's not a simple thing, right? No one likes to think that someone else is the favorite, right? Everyone wants to be special in exactly the same way. So, how do we handle that we're the chosen people? There's one of two ways you could look at it. Either you could look at it from the standpoint of merit, or you could look at it from the standpoint of status. You know what the difference is? Okay, if I'm president of the corporation, so who do I like the most? The worker who does the best, who makes the most money for me. So the reason I like him the most is it's an objective criteria, because he makes the most money. If someone else is going to make the most money, I like him also. So one version of why God loves the Jewish people is because, so to speak, spiritually, we make the most money for God. Avraham Avinu, you know how much Avraham Avinu did for the Rabbi Shlomo, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, David HaMelech, the Nevi'im, the Chachamim, Rabbi Akiva. That the Rabbi Shlomo loves us because we do so much for him. And the Maharal says that kind of relationship with God, the nations of the world could stomach. Why? Because if it's based on merit, that means anyone could live up to that. You want that, so do the same thing. Who's keeping you, right? Who's holding you back? But then there's another kind of special. Listen, why do I love my children just a little bit more than I love all the children? It's not because my kids get A's and someone else's kids get B's. I love them because they're my children. If I didn't love them that way, then I'd need a psychiatrist. They are my children. That's not merit, that's status. Bishvil Yisrael shenitru reishus. If that's what it's all about, that drives the Romans crazy. Now, which is it? So the truth is, it's a combination. It's a very, very delicate thing. It's such a well-kept secret that we ourselves don't know. Because in different places, the Torah itself speaks about it from both points of view. In some places, it says because we do so much. And if we stop doing, it's ois yichas. If you don't do, God says, okay, get out of here. But then, there's the other side of the coin. The famous Tanat Ve'oyo, the Torah, it's not that God created us to keep the Torah. God created the Torah because of us. We come first. It's status. It has nothing to do with merit. And somehow, my friends, if we want to get to the roots of what happened with this whole sacrifice with the general and he sent the sacrifice and the Romans, they couldn't understand why it wasn't accepted. Okay, I have to end now because I don't want to go too long.
You're just beginning.
I'm just beginning, but there's Oid Chazan Lamayit. These are very touchy questions, but they're the most basic questions. They have to do, because really, if you think about it, on one level, Tisha B'Av is about our relationship with each other. Kamso ba kamso. But on another level, Tisha B'Av is about our relationship with the world. Something went wrong, and that's why the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. The Gemara says in a few places that the torch that set fire to the Beis HaMikdash wasn't only an act of destruction leveled against the Jewish people, it was an act of destruction that was self-inflicted on the ones who set fire to the Beis HaMikdash. They knew, the Romans knew that the temple is the holiest place in the world. The reason they burned it is because their sacrifice wasn't accepted. Listen, if it's just a meaningless building standing there, what do I care if this, why am I getting so angry that I'm torching it? It's dafka because they knew what it is that they burnt it. And they burnt it, says the Maharal, and he weaves this into the Gemara and every little detail in their dialogue, because they couldn't bear the fact that just maybe the Jews are special. Now, my friends, there's much more here. And maybe we need to learn, how to handle it vis-a-vis ourselves. And we also need to learn how to handle it vis-a-vis the world. It's not simple. But even as during these 9 days we talk about the sinas chinam, right? The senseless hatred that set this chain of events in motion, there's this other side also. It's what do we need to do to get them to understand that when they burned the temple, it was the stupidest thing they ever did. Because on some level they know it. But how do we get them to really know it? And we get them to know it ultimately, first and foremost, by getting ourselves to know. By putting ourselves in touch with what the Beis HaMikdash really is for us. What that wall is. What that spot is. And may we go from, as Shlomo said, may we go from hearing to seeing.
Shmuel, you said the deepest Torahs in the world. If I can just share with you from Meir
Yes.
70, this is a long time of Cook. That we Jews, we have two functions in the world. Just between us and God, and between us and the world. And basically, Rabbi Imam Chaim says that obviously, because we didn't do our share in fixing the world, so we had to go outside to fix the world. Like a doctor, if he's so bad nobody comes to his office anymore, becomes a street doctor looking for patients on the street. So he says, as long as we give out doctors, the whole world will come to Yerushalayim. If we stop being good doctors, we had to walk around in the world. But Mimi and I were there in Poland, and it was, this was a center for Tisha B'Av, right? This is the second Tisha B'Av, right? And you know what it is? Because you say they know how much they did wrong to themselves. I don't know if you remember, a lot of kids were there 14, 15, 16 years old. You know, the people of 60, 70 didn't show up at the concert. It was the young generation. One boy said to me, I don't know if you were there when you heard it, he says, do you know something? Since there are no more Jews in Poland, our country is so dark. He says the only light in the world are the Jews. And you know, the Ishbitzer says the world is not afraid of darkness. Gewalt is the world afraid of light. Gewalt is the world afraid of light. And you're right, on Tisha B'Av, but we have to fix, you know, we're also afraid of light. We're afraid to be too Jewish. We're afraid to be too loving. We're afraid to love each other too much. And on Tisha B'Av, there's great fixing. I have to take this, you know, I'm so overjoyed to hear Meryl. I haven't heard Meryl in so long. You're the top of the super top in my book. I always tell Meryl it's listed in God's yellow pages on the T, on the top, yeah.
They'll never find me under that listing.
No. I want to share with you a medrash. I don't know if you know it, but just forgive me making it fast. A medrash about Cain and Abel. Give me how many fast? Make it to be minor. So that you're not worried if I'm going over time, but who cares? A little bit. Make it fast. And then, good. Just, it's a short medrash. It's a good one. Okay. You know, the first hatred in the world, and the first war was Cain and Abel, right? Cain and Abel. That's all there is to it. We haven't fixed it yet. This is what the Medrash says. The truth is, Cain did not want to kill Abel. He was just so angry. He was so angry that God accepted the sacrifice of Abel. And God did not accept the sacrifice. Man said. Now listen to this. What did Abel do wrong? Abel should have said to God, Master of the world, if you accept my sacrifice, I'm begging you, accept also the sacrifice of my brother. Because, Master of the world, there are only two brothers in the world. Don't let me be the one to put my brother to shame. And you know what would have happened at that moment? Mashiach would have come, would have been the fixing of the world. So Abel did wrong, he didn't care for his brother. And Cain was so angry at Abel. Don't you see, I want to bring a sacrifice, and you know how to do it. Why didn't you come and teach me? You see, after God accepted Abel's sacrifice, you shall say to Cain, I'll teach you how to do it. So anyway, it was always clear to me, I'm sure to you too, that the world is angry at us. Why didn't you teach us? Gewalt, why don't you teach us? I don't want to say anything bad, but since Meryl opened the gate, I have to say it. I'm sure you'll forgive me. When we were in Poland, I felt it so deep, so deep. You know how many thousands little Polish boys were Shabbos going by Yidden? They would come in and turn off the light. Gewalt, why didn't we take them in and tell them, you know, what is this? Shabbos, Heilige Shabbos, Süße Shabbos. You know, for 2,000 years we didn't do such a good job. We didn't teach the world much, kept away from the world. But you know what happened after the 6 million? God opened gates, God opened gates. The world wants to hear us. And here again, I don't want to say anything bad. You know, the world has their eyes on Israel, they want to hear a holy message. So we give them a message about politics, about war. This is not what they want to hear. They want to hear something. And this is an Ishbitz Torah. He says, Dvar Hashem, Torah is also Dvar Hashem. What's the difference between Torah and the Word of God? The Torah comes out of Zion, and the Word of God from Jerusalem. So he says the deepest thing. When you hear something, and you know it, but it doesn't penetrate into the depth of you, it's just Torah. Yes, from God. But it's not divine. Dvar Hashem. When you hear something and it's mamish, get into you in the deepest depths. This is the Word of God. You know, people can tell me everything and I know it. It doesn't change me. When it's God's Word, go on, right? So here's the message. Give me how many all of your friends wake up. So the message says, let it be clear to you that Cain did not want to kill Abel, he was just angry. And the message said he took a stone and he threw it at the head of Abel. And Abel fell to the ground and he was bleeding. And Cain fell down to the ground. When he was lying next to his brother, the message says, for 3 days. And he was crying, he says, Abel, I'm begging you, open your eyes. Because Cain had never seen a dead person in his life. Didn't even know that people could die. And the message says, all the animals came and they were crying with Cain. The whole world came. Even the birds, even the lions. They were all sitting in a circle around Abel and begging him to open his eyes again. So after 3 days, they realized he is dead. And now open your heart. The Mashiach is coming, let it be tonight. All the Cains of the world will find the graves of the Abels they killed. And they will lie next to them. And they will yell, they will say, I'm so sorry, I killed you. I swear to you, I was just so angry. But I didn't want to kill you. And they will yell, please, I'm begging you, come back. The Mashiach is coming, the great miracle will happen. Abel will open his eyes, and all the Abels of the world will dance with the Cain. And what did they? The Cain is a Kavin alive, the Yoshienu. The Hashem Kavin alive, no Gilev and Nismachom. Abel said to Cain, forgive me for not teaching you. And Cain would say, forgive me for killing you. Anyway, it's getting closer, you know. Getting so much closer. It's crazy. The Beis HaMikdash is the one place they're closest to God. And in the Beis HaMikdash, it's for the world also. Ki basic best feeling you call Chol Ha'am. Just give me one more time, F minor. Just give me Mama Sham in the Chel. Tviyenu la kochecho Vesamchenu Ay bemeste filos el melecho Alisem Vedevchem Vevem Anero Tzayim Ava mizbechi Ake ye Say beis tefilo Ake beis tefilo Yikol B'vodei Elachalo Come here, you want to say a few words?
People feel the closest when they can't even see each other when they're far away. And that's when they get the closest. I think when two people are very close together and the one is broken, and the other one says, I can't bear to see you this way, that they get even closer. It's not when they're far apart. I think it's when they're close and they really begin to see each other's brokenness. And I think that Tisha B'Av, we can only hope and pray that God can really see how broken we are and can say, I can't bear it anymore. And it's not even just seeing it and closing eyes, but it's saying it to each other. And that God should hear our prayers, that we can't bear to see God so sad over the way we are, and that we should be able to hear Hashem's prayers and His crying that He just can't bear to see us as broken as we are. And then I don't think we could be any closer. And I think maybe we can really begin to rebuild the Beis HaMikdash.
So, do you have anything to say about the program or anything?
That I can say. Most of you came on time and paid as you came in. Many of you came after the program had begun. And I would still like to ask you to please stay afterwards to pay. This is the only way you can make this. You will take half shekels, half dollars, as long as they add up all together. But so please, those of you who came late, please do stay to pay. We hope some of you will, many of you have registered for all or as much as you can, that you deal with it up front, please, as much as we can. It's a wonderful week of programming that I think we put together from early morning and some meditation and davening. That's 7:30, and 8. Material for the learning with Shlomo. Again, many of you want to come and you want to hear Shlomo teach, but if you'll both do the learning ahead of time and help with the whole group, it just goes when Shlomo knows that work's been done. And Yeshua is also here for me on the following Sunday, Monday. So this morning program is going on every single morning this week, and we're trying to put it together in a way that we hope will be good for everyone and for any of you who can. I am from Brooklyn. Mayor is here, and so here's myself, Matityahu Glazerson, Gedalia. Come down into our coffee house down on the bottom floor, and if Shlomo can stay for a while, you can still do a little bit of learning before I kick you all out. This thing at 11. But we have coffee and tea and other drinks and cake and fruit and frozen yogurt. And thank you those who haven't yet.
For putting it all together.
David, yeah, gewalt.
Hey.
When Mashiach is coming, we'll organize the first learning.
When Mashiach comes, it'll be half price, I promise you all.
Thank you, Nosson. Thank you, all the holy musicians.